Hi everyone, it's FC.Liverpool. It's everything about Liverpool. If you want to comment, that's fantastic. And as the title says, to buy or not to buy, that is the question. Because I think we're stuck with two players and there's no movement of any other players. Again, you get all the links with so many different players, which is absolutely ridiculous, and nothing's getting done about it. There was another link again today from Mbappe, and it's just pathetic because there's no way Liverpool are going to buy Mbappe. What do you think? I just want you to help me out here. I really do. Uh, is this a proper build with two players? Let's say that we just have these two players. Is it a proper build? Honestly, is it a proper build? Because I don't think so. Two players, two great players, by the way. I'm not having a go at them because they are fantastic players. But if one of them gets injured, we're back with the same format as last season. The format of a midfield that let us down so badly. Look, the likes of Jordan Henderson, right? He's 33 and he hasn't got legs anymore for what he used to do. That's it. Shall we just get rid of him? Sell him, and then bring in someone else? Because what I read was that Liverpool are not going to buy another midfielder unless one goes. What's that point? What's the point in that? Please let me know. Please, it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't help but where's this bloody thing? Where is it? Hang on. Right. And as Gareth Williams says, two players is not enough. And I totally agree with you there, Gareth. Honestly, Gareth, I totally agree. Two players, midfield. It's really frustrating because we need a left-sided centre back. That's a certain. Do you trust Fabinho as centre mid, right? Or a defensive midfielder? I just don't know. I don't because his leg seems to have gone. And that proved it. All right, he did improve in the last few games of the season, but we're coming up to a new season. And I said at the beginning, at the beginning of last season, we need two midfielders. I said at the beginning of this season, we need four midfielders. Not only four midfielders, but we need a centre-back, a left-sided centre-back. We're all right with the forwards. The forwards are fine. They're in fine fettle then. But two players, let's see what Roderick says. 5 minutes minus 2, trouble. We are relying on the kids again. That's a very good point. And as Gareth Williams said, two players is not enough. And as you said, we are relying on kids again, says Neil Broderick. And Gareth says, need four mids, one centre-back and a right-back to cover. Look, we have to challenge again. We're Liverpool Football Club. We're one of the top clubs in world football. One of the top. Suppose there was I'm not just saying this, by the way. Just suppose there was a European Champion League for something, just for one season alone. And they were going to pick the two best teams, say from Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Belgium, anywhere, all around the place. And obviously here. They'd pick Liverpool. They would pick Liverpool and City. They would now. They pick City. And this is how Liverpool is so big in Europe. The franchise, the brand name, it's incredible. Liverpool Football Club. And yet, we didn't buy anyone. Last summer's transfer coming into the club, the budget for the transfer, you'd have Nunes. No matter how you look at it, Nunes was hit and miss with some supporters. And I'm being honest, he was a hit and miss with me. We brought Cavallo in. And where is he? He's gone. He's gone on loan. You had Ramsey as a right back. Where's he? He's gone on loan. He was injured all season, more or less. It's pathetic. Then Ardemello on a loan. We get a couple of injuries in September. That could be the season over. Another good point, and that's the worry. And as Gareth Williams said, we need 4 mids. I said it. And we can go back, as you know, we can go back seasons ago. And you're at the likes of Shankly, Paisley, especially Paisley. He always brought in 2 players every season. And not just like, decent players. He brought in top quality players to put the other players on their toes. Even and Frank, hope you're well, fella. Stephen Snake. I was out today and it was funny. I was out yesterday. It was so funny. I was talking to this bus driver and these people walking past couple, and I said, this fella's lost. I said, he's a Romanian and he should have been in Blackpool, but he got mixed up and he's here. He's ended up here in Liverpool. He's got a coach loads of people fuming. Anyway, so, I was only joking, but they took it serious, these couple. So I was down at the same place today and I seen them because they said, good luck. Anyway, what has happened was so funny. Seeing them today and he went, did he get back from Blackpool all right? Because I said to them, I've got to bring this fella up, this Romanian up to Blackpool. I said, yeah, it was all right, Then it's all, I was only joking, So mad. Well, let's get back to the thing that we're in. Gareth Williams, FSG mugging us off again. If this window closes with just 2 signings, then it's got to be protests to get rid of these. Again, and that's a very, very good point, actually. That's a very good point. Well said, Gareth. Jeff Ellison, good evening, Frank. 2 may be enough, provided the club bring in 2 players each season. We have Batatic coming through, who for me looks really promising. We still have Enzo. I was going to mention Henderson. We still have Enzo, so we need a right back for Trent Arnold to move up the pitch. Henderson, Jeff, has lost his legs. And you can't rely on him. Just imagine this. Oh, God forbid. The likes of McAllister and Dominic I've seen his name today properly. Sobolai, whatever his name is. And he gets injured, and the two of them are out. We've got the same midfield as we had last season. The same midfield. You've got to understand as well, everybody, we've got to understand that our main rivals are buying big. They're buying big. This should have been a rebuild. We should be getting a centre-back, a left-sided centre-back. We should be getting at least 4 midfielders. And don't tell me, people tell me that, I'm not saying you lot, really I'm not, that we've got no money. We've got no money. What's that all about? And what's all that about? We have to sell a player or a player leaves to bring another player in midfield. And it looks like, Henderson could be going to Saudi anyway. And Thiago as well. And Thiago's always injured. And people don't see that. He's always injured. And once your hip goes, by the way, medically, once your hip goes, it's very hard to recover to the same degree as you were before the hip injury. I hope you know this. Charlie Wood, even in Frank, so I'm going to go through these here. And Stephen Snape says, Liverpool Football Club's reputation in Europe is stellar, platinum. We're considered the elite of British football, make no mistake. But Stephen, you're spot on, and it is platinum. It really is platinum. But think about this. Shouldn't we be using that by players? It's all right, Klopp, what he did build a team. But unfortunately, he let that midfield deteriorate. I seen it before the start of last season. And people who know me, I told them that we need 2 midfielders brought in now. This season, like Gareth Edwards, I said that we need 4 midfielders now. 4 of them. Not 2, 4. Other players as well. And what got me worried, I don't know about you lads, but what got me worried was when Klopp wanted to give Milner another year's contract. A 38-year-old man. Another contract. What does that tell you? That had me worried, because I said then, if he was going to give them, it was only for the owners to turn around and say, no, get rid of him, or, whether it was the owners or not, I don't think it was. I think it must have been his backroom staff who said, no, he's too old. He's only given a few minutes each game. So, anyway, he's gone. But that worried me, because if he wanted to give him another contract, that meant that a player won't be coming in to cover for him. Now, don't forget the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Kaiser, they never played, did they, last season? So they were fresh air to me. They were fresh air. And we're back into the Slobozai, whatever his name is, gets injured. That's it. We're back to square one. Soulboy Frank, have you seen the pictures of Henderson training? He must be worried about his place with these new signings. Why wasn't he doing this before to prolong his career? That's a good. That's a very good point. But I still, I really, listen, Soul Boy, I really think that he's too old. We should be bringing in a much younger player. Here's what I want for a centre mid, not a centre mid, for a defensive midfielder. I'd like a 26-year-old, 25, 26, 27, well equipped to play that particular role as a defensive midfielder because he's at his peak. That's what I want there. And as other people have said, and I said, we do need a right back. We do need a centre back, left-sided centre back. That is. Good point, that though, Soul Boy. It's a good point. Tommy Batty, to all these fans who say we don't want oil money, well, that's the reason we are behind in the transfer market. FSG think they have done their job by buying two great players until they go. It's always going to be like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you just go back just a little while, and Thiago, I said this, and I've said this, and I'll repeat what I said. If I told you, or you told me, or whatever, when Thiago came into the club, that'll be the last signing of a midfielder until 2023, going into the season 2024. Would you have believed me? I wouldn't. I wouldn't have believed you if you'd have told me that. But that was the way it was. And we didn't. We didn't. And at the beginning of last season, as you know, Jurgen Klopp came out and said, I was wrong and you were right. And that's why he got Arthur Melo. And what happened to him? 13 minutes of football, first team football. So that was a dreadful, really dreadful summer bringing in players. Absolutely dreadful was. Absolutely. Shane Miguel. And a pint for Frank. David and Shane. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Okay. Neil Broderick, I honestly think FSG thought if they could get us the league, if they thought to get us the league, we would be satisfied for 10 years. Loads have said that, Neil, and I think you're right, you could imagine them saying, we've given you what you want, what more do you want? What more? It's like the Red Sox over there who they own. And when they won the World Series or something, he said that, even their fans said, they just stopped and said, we gave you that after years and years of the World Series. And I think the same mentality was with Liverpool as well. We've given you the Premiership. You buy after success. We made millions. And people say, well, what about, we bought Van Dijk and Alisson. Yeah, they're the type of players that need to come in. The likes of McAllister and Dominic. They're the type of players that needs to come in every season. Not just like, every 4 years or whatever. You need to replenish. And that's just my opinion. It really is just my opinion. Right, so as he says, Neil, for 10 years, because we had waited 30 years, you don't get the fact we want success year in and year out. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We do want success. And I think they know it. But were they forced to buy this season? this summer, and thinking that 2 players. We were after this Lavia, and that's it. Turan, that I believe that's dead in the water. No matter what you say, dead in the water. And then we've got this Lavia lad, and then all of a sudden, that's cooled down. That's cooled down. But it's all the hype about Lavia. It's all the hype. We're going to get him, especially Turan. We're going to get him. It's going to be great, You just say, behave yourself. We're not going to get him. I've just seen that there. I'm sorry, I've got 2 monitors here. One monitor's off. I've got this one over here. The camera's over there. I'm reading there. Anyway, Charlie Wood, the internet is swamped with the rubbish about Mbappe again. Is this a PR thing? Honestly, is it a PR thing to go, we're going after Mbappe and forgetting what's going on behind the scenes? We've got to have a proper clear out. We really have. And bring players in. A rebuild is what we need. And I thought that, as I said, 4 midfielders. Really, 4 midfielders. Do you class Milner as a midfielder? What do you class him as? A midfielder? Do you class him as a midfielder? Because if you do, you've got 3 that's gone and we brought 2 in. And as someone says, we're relying on the kids again. We can't afford to rely on the kids again. And Lavia is only 19 as well. But, people were saying, he's got Premiership experience. Yeah, okay. So, we still need a CDM, and that's Stephen Snape, and an orthodox right back. Henderson's engine's gone. Sentimentality doesn't win trophies. And that's another thing as well, the old saying, always like a love child and all this, and this is what it's like. Think about Milner. He wanted him another year. It's his mate. They turned out to be mates. Mates. Did Paisley have mates? Did Shankly have mates? No, they didn't. They were managers. They were managers of our football club. And if you weren't playing and he's seen you, I'm talking about the Paisley. I'm talking about Paisley. If he's seen you on the wane, you were gone, because Bob Paisley was ruthless. He was ruthless. It was Bob. So was Joe Fagan, by the way. Just got rid of you. And when they say like the owners, the owners are great. Look what they're doing for the club. What? You've got to look at David Moyes. Think about this, David Moyes. David Moyes, the Annie Road stand. Don't forget. He put that extra stand on that we've just taken off to make this another new stand. He made that. He never made it, but he paid the money for it. He paid for the Kenny Dalglish to be upgraded. Kenny Dalglish stand. And he also upgraded the cop. My point is, he still bought players to David Moyes. And when he come to the end of his, tenure, he was just a Liverpool supporter. He loved his football. He was a copite originally. And he just said, I can't afford the players. I can't afford the players. So I'm selling the club. And I don't care what anyone says. He sold it to the wrong people. He sold it to the Americans. And Americans are not football lovers. Believe you me. And this lot are just cash owners. So belike. I still can't get you, honestly. I said them today and I was saying it's all right. Must be that I'm tired now. So belike. Charlie Wood says, we've let 4 go. We need at least 4 in. Yes. Just got a message here. And it's from John Henry. And he says, we're buying Mbappe next week. Not only Mbappe, but we're bringing in another great player. That's me a message of John Henry. And if you believe that, you believe in anything. Oh, it's a message really, isn't it? So I'll just say okay there. It's only a message for me. So I've got Liam Moore coming on as well. Liam's just got in from Malta. He's just got in. I'll be having him on in a moment or two. Just let me go through some of these messages. Right, so Charlie Woods, we've let 4 go. We need at least 4 in. Henderson can't do more than 30 minutes a week, says Shane McGowan. Absolutely. Because there was Milner. He couldn't start a game or finish a game, if you know what I mean. Henderson is the same. And someone's saying, he was great during when we won the title, the Premiership. And I said, do you remember when he was out? Game, I think he was out from the February up to the the ending of the season when we won that league. He was out. Remember, and he came on and like hit, on the cup with a big strap on his leg, and he was out for yonks. And he's saying he won us the league. No, he didn't. Sorry there. Just let me and I'm going right to I'm bringing Liam in. Soulboy Fran, I know we would have liked Casido and Rice, but 100 million, they're not worth that. But I'd like Casido. I would like him in. He's a beast, that lad. He's good. But I understand what you're saying. Like, Rice isn't worth that. I'm being honest, 105 million or whatever it costs. Stephen Snape, well, I'm compelled to agree that the players go on current form and statistics. I still think that our standing in the pantheon of football's institutions will always attract top talent. That's the point again, Stephen. It's like your platinum analogy as well. We need these players and they will come, but we're not paying the money for them. That's why I said last week, if they're McAllister and Szoboszlai, did I say that? If they cost, I'm just saying this, 65 million each, do you think they would have been playing for Liverpool now? I don't think so. Think about that. Charlie Wood, 25-27 with experience of the Premier. Exactly. I'll just go to Jeff Ellison. Oh, friggin' hell, where am I? Lee Brady, I just got to say hello to him. Hello, Frank, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, Lee. I really am. I've just got to go to Jeff, and I'm going to bring in my good friend, Liam. And he says, Jeff Ellison, John Henry's triple-decker yacht was in the Albert today's money. I seen that yacht. It wasn't his, was it? Beautiful yacht. It was really beautiful. Cracking boat. As good as Liam Moore's. Liam Moore's got a big yacht. How are you?
All right, Frank.
So what do you think of, these two players? You don't have to talk about because they are great.
I've just got in before, haven't I? So I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last couple of days has been like, but I'm happy with that Szoboszlai. I remember him at Salzburg, and then obviously he moved to Leipzig as what they usually do, and that but I think he could be fantastic. I think he could be a really fantastic player. More so in I think as well is that when Salah goes to the
Liam, no one's saying that. We all know everyone's made up, right? But the title of the show is "To Buy or Not to Buy." That is the question.
Yeah.
And this is the point.
We can't just have two people, can we, in midfield?
No, well, everybody's saying it, you see. And again, as you know, you've just got back, and there's social media, as Jeff Ellison has said. Social media is going mad about Mbappe. We put in another bid, we haven't really. And this is how pathetic it's going. But 2 players is not enough. So what's your take on who we need? How many more do you think we need more midfielders? Simple question as that.
Well, I think we've had 4 out. I know Melo and all that, Arte and whatever. But we've lost Keita, we've lost Oxlade-Chamberlain, and we've lost Milner. So they I know we never got much out of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita, but they're 3 important players that have got to be filled. He brought a panic buy-in with Melo, never even got a game, and that. But I think the thing is now is that we're going to read the movie, aren't we? Whereas Curtis Jones is going to start stepping up, and I'd like the time is kind of put Elliott and Trent. I was looking at James Pearce. He says about you've got 9 midfielders. We haven't got 9 midfielders.
No.
He's trying to put Trent in the midfield. Well, he isn't. If Klopp puts him in the midfield, but he's going to be predominantly right back hybrid, isn't he? In that kind of, attacking right back, coming into the midfield, going further up the pitch. But that doesn't kind of designate him as a midfielder. Thiago, great player, absolutely love Thiago, but you can't get a string of games out of him. Henderson can't get a string of games out of him, and that now it's all right if you're going to bring another 1 in or 2, whereas Henderson and Thiago would come in regards of either starting the game and coming off or finishing the game. You know what I mean? Where we've got to have a solid 3. But the thing is there now is Fabinho. Fabinho has been terrible the last 12 months. That's probably say longer. And we've just been like knife and butter. And it's all right getting McAllister and getting Szoboszlai, but we need a solid 6. Whereas he can kind of stay in the middle and he can crunch up them balls. We haven't got that. We're going to be looking at Lavia or whatever, but they're saying that he's a project. So is Fabinho going to be staying, or is he going to be going, or is that a replacement? It's just all.
Well, that's the same with Henderson. Henderson, I said he should have gone, and people will disagree with me. 2 seasons ago, I said he should have gone then. I really did. And now, it seems that he's going to be kept unless Steven Gerrard brings him over to Saudi Arabia. And there, Charlie Wood says, looking on other... I'm just going to go through a few comments here. We can comment on them, if you don't mind, Lee. Charlie Wood says, looking on other LFC sites, fans are saying we've got no money. And this is how it is. It's just mad. And he carries on by saying, They said whatever it takes, we'll win the league. They never said they would do it twice. That's a good point, that actually. Neil Broderick, he's answering Stephen Snape's answering. We will have no divine right for silverware. A club of our stature as a fanatical support base that has the right to compete at the top level for trophies. That's why we exist. Absolutely. Let's see what this fella says. Lee Brady, so true, Frank. I remember going back to when we won the Champions League, then the Premiership and other cups, and then we were scraping the barrel for 2 million for Ben Davies. Think about that. Scraping the barrel for 2 million, and the lad never played, did he, Ben Davies? And Quebec on loan. Like, hold on. How many millions do you win from winning the Prem alone? Is it like 170 million? Question mark. I'm not sure. Plus the other competitions we won. Where did all that prize money go? Got to give it to Klopp. He has done amazing and better than any other manager in the seasons we have struggled with what? And that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Stephen Slade, Paisley's favourite saying, let your players' legs tire on other managers' training pitches. That's a cracker, that. That's a cracker. I just want to get to this lad. He says, I think it's Jake Whittaker. Let me get to this, Lee, and what you think of this. Just look what you think. Let's see. Is it this? Hang on a minute. Let's see. Sorry about this, boys. Let's see. No, it's not there. I can't see. I think I might have gone past it. I'm sorry. Anyway, Szoboszlai, God help the Albanian. That's a bit of a joke. Yeah, there it is. I just want to get this lad in. Jake Whittaker. Alexis McAllister is top drawer and Dominic Szoboszlai is world class. If anything, like Puskás, we got real world class, and I think he could just play the front three.
That's what I was saying before. I think with Salah going to the AFCON, I think he could really kind of take Salah's place in the front three. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I really do.
Yeah, but again, all right. I said this before, Liam. Just bear with me with this. I said, what if McAllister gets injured and Szoboszlai? What if they get injured and they're both out for a couple? Every time we get injured, we're not out for a week or two. We're out for months. Well, weeks, sometimes months, and they're out. We're going to end up with the same midfielders that failed us so badly last season. And this is why we're saying we need another 2 midfielders.
I think we need 1 or 2 at least, yeah. They have 1 at least. We definitely need a Fabinho upgrade or a replacement for Fabinho, because and this is the thing, isn't it? The Saudi thing, the dangling all kinds of rubles and everything to all these players and that. And the sad thing about it is that these players aren't coming to the end of the contracts. These players are in the height of their playing kinds of careers. So how sad is it that they're kind of leaving any chance of challenging for the Premier or the Cups or whatever, and they're just going for the money? And that's really, really sad for me.
Of course it is. Because, see, you get mercenaries all over the place. I think one of the biggest mercenaries, to be honest, was Ronaldo. And no disrespect to his playing ability. He's one of the greats, Ronaldo. Brilliant. I loved looking at him, playing. But he was a bit of a mercenary in his later years.
Yeah.
And he, his legs went. They really did when he went to Man United.
Yeah, he kind of he jumped around after Real Madrid, didn't he? No,
Yeah.
it was Juventus, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Juve, they got rid of him because they knew. And now where is he? He's in. Is he in China, or did he go to China, or did he go to
Saudi Arabia, isn't he? Saudi Arabia.
Because he was thinking
what's
of going
happening
to China.
is that I've got a feeling, for me, is that I think I think this is going to be Salah's last season.
Yeah.
Because I think, he would be treated like a god. He would be the creme de la creme for that Saudi league. He would just get vast riches thrown at him in every kind of way, sponsorship, whatever. He would be the flagship for the Saudi league, and I do think that this is our last year with Salah, because he'd be entering in his last year, will he? His last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken, 2024. So the other thing as well is that we've looked as though we've got another rebuild next year, because Van Dijk's up, Salah's up, there's going to be a few who are up then. We're going to have to replace Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho. It's always we're on catch up all the time.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. We've got our midfield. You mentioned like Thiago, you mentioned Henderson, and Fabinho. They should be gone now and replaced. I really do. With seasons as well, players the likes of Szoboszlai's age, and also McAllister's age, and a defensive midfielder, I'd say about 25, 26, 27. And that was solidified the midfield. That's what I say, anyway. But unfortunately, as I think it was Jeff Ellison saying that there's no money. Someone's saying there's no money, and that's
but if you look there, Frank, if you look the amount of players who've left, do you reckon that they would have been saving 25, 28 million a year on wages in regards of the players that are left?
Yeah.
So they've already saved on wages. So in regards of McAllister, Szoboszlai, fantastic, amazing, really, really made up. But you can't bring just two players in regards of that midfield. The other thing is as well, is that they took a loan out for that Szoboszlai, I believe, and they don't have to pay nothing this year.
Well, that's it,
And the other thing as well is that there's the amortization, isn't it? So they pay it over the length of the contract. So really, we haven't spent nothing really, have we? 35 million on McAllister. No.
But we've always had a bad net spend.
Yeah.
And as Soulboy France says, if we sign two more, do you think FSG will be looking to recoup some money? They always recoup to. And as Liam just said there, Soulboy, they borrowed the money to get. It's just nuts. I want to know where we have made money. We nearly done the. I don't know. It's just gone beyond a joke with these bloody owners. I'm being honest. And so, someone made a cracking little comment there. Just let me get it. Let me please. Where is it? Yeah, look, Charlie Wood. 100 million is the new 20 million, and that's right. That's right.
I'd say the 40 million is. I think 40, 50 is. I think we won't go over. We won't go over a certain amount, will we?
No.
There's that Vadio there. He would have been absolutely unbelievable for us, and he's a mad Liverpudlian.
Yeah, he is. But Even, I wouldn't mind that Mickey van der Ven, because I've seen him play and he's good. He's a big lad. And he'd do his job, and he's a mad Liverpoolian as well.
Yeah.
But
the other, I think, as I said, I've missed it over the last couple of days. I've missed the cricket today as well. But what I was going to say, there's been like rumblings that Mbappe, you just said that Liverpool, like kind of funnily, that we put a 200 million bid. I could never ever believe that. But I reckon Mbappe will end up at Madrid. I think it's a given that he'll end up at Madrid for me. But you know the thing is though, Frank, Liverpool should go for that Cicinimi or Valverde.
I like that Valverde. I like him. I think he's a cracking player.
And that's Cicinimi as well.
And again, you just said that we borrowed the money to buy Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Think about that. If we borrowed the money, there's no money to buy anyone else. And this is the problem. And the problem is 2 players. That's not a rebuild. That's decoration.
I think there'll be
if you're buying like a 3-piece suite or something like that, and you just buy 1 chair.
Yeah.
I always remember Rafa Benitez when he left Spain.
When he asked for a chair, he asked for a lamp.
Yeah, he said, I wanted a chair, but he gave me the lamp. And this is what's happening today.
Yeah.
We need more than a chair and a couch. We need a lot more than that. If we're standing still again. Arsenal, I'm not being funny, but what have they done in the last year? What we've done? They've done absolutely nothing.
Well, we've qualified in the Champions League the last 6 years. They've only qualified this year, and they've absolutely blitzed it.
Yeah.
Because 105 million though. 105 million for Rice. He's a good player, but he's just a water carrier, isn't he? He's not exactly world class. He's a good player, really good player, but 105 million, Frank.
Yeah. Then big thanks for today, Frank. Everyone enjoyed it. Thank you. I went down to the pier heads and swam the Mersey for them in record time. No, I didn't. I took the Jake Whittaker. What does he say? Behind the front 3, Frank, like a number Szoboszlai. I understand that, Jake. Honestly, no one's arguing. He is a great player, but we need others. We really need others.
He needs a midfielder.
He has got the number 10, though, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. He's got the number 8, hasn't he? So,
he's got Gerrard.
If anyone gets injured, we'll have plenty out of position, says Charlie Wood. That's what you just said. That's what you've alluded to, Liam.
Yeah.
Stephen Snake, for me, Gakpo is one that could easily blossom. Personally, I'd play him a bit deeper. The way he runs between the lines and cuts in and shoots. Coutinho-esque. Yep. But,
Nunes is he's either going to be an absolute revelation or
a big flop.
He's going to be a demo. He's going to be one or the other, isn't he?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Lee. And I think, you've got the likes of Szoboszlai, right? He's our player. You've got the likes of, as he says there, Gakpo. You've also got Trent, who can hit a ball. And I think Trent should hit the ball outside the area more often. I really do. But this lad, Szoboszlai, he can hit the ball outside the area and score, just like Coutinho used to do.
I think that Szoboszlai is kind of what Oxlade-Chamberlain should have been. Do you know what I mean? After that, like, you know, I was at that Roma game and it was just so sad. You know, it was just really so sad, you know, because he was having such an amazing season, you know, at the Man City game and, you know, the European, like the Champions League and whatever. And that Roma game, flipping heck, mate, you know, it was just sickening. Just felt so sorry for him. And that because he was really...
But it wasn't a foul, like, you remember Pickford's on the other foul?
Oh, yeah, Pickford's on.
It wasn't like that. He's just
no, it wasn't. No, it was
just
at the far side, wasn't it? On the line. Yeah.
Well, you know, that did ruin his career with Liverpool. That did ruin his career with Liverpool.
But I think that's the buzz. Like, we haven't had someone, as you said, Coutinho before, but we haven't had someone to like literally shoot from outside the box.
Yes. And so, boy, Fran, I think a centre-back has got to be the next signing. Any injuries there, and we are in trouble.
I agree.
But again, it's like midfield. If any of McAllister or Szoboszlai gets injured, that's one down. And we're back in the same routine. Yeah. When we first brought McAllister in, we said, that's not enough. Because there was a long pause, wasn't there, before we brought Szoboszlai in. Now there's another long pause. And, you know, as you said, Liam, and other people, yet we borrowed the money to buy him. But also other people are saying there's no money. But, you know...
If there's no money, it's shocking, isn't it?
Of course it is.
We can only judge them. We keep saying, listen, I'm not a fan of FSG, and like, you know that, I've never been, but like, you know, we've just got to wait and kind of see what comes out. One thing I will say is that this is their last life as a cat.
Yeah.
You know, they've had 8 lives. That like they try and take the supporters for granted again this year. I think it's going to be a totally different response.
I know. And it's so sad, you know, the way it's like Jake says, I can't see it being Salah's last season if we win the league and European Cup.
Yeah, fair play.
Why wouldn't he just want to sign? And see, don't forget, he's an Egyptian. He loves his homeland, and his homeland love him. All the Arab countries love him.
Yeah, he's a king.
He's a king. He is a king. And
if they come in for 50-60 million bid next year for Salah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. If they come in now, I think he's gone, to be honest. Knowing these owners of ours. I really do. I really believe that. And Jeff Ellison says, I can't understand how Liverpool, who have the 3rd largest revenue in the world football, can't have a decent spend. That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree.
3rd largest revenue. And as you said, Liam, you know, over 3 million that we've saved on by the likes of Milner and Kaiser and the Ox going.
They reckon 26 million over a period of time, over their contracts. That's what, like, you know, how much they've saved and that. But, you know, I don't know what this York's doing, Schmacher. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was part of the Szoboszlai kind of deal. The other thing I think what's going on, which is like going back to the old days, I think, is that no one's got a clue. None of the in the nose or whatever knew about that Szoboszlai. You know, they were all talking about Thuram. They were all talking about Thuram and Kone.
That's dead in the water now.
He's just come out the blue, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's that's dead in the water, the Thuram deal.
Yeah.
Apparently. And Stephen Snape says, It's the net spend that creates the skepticism. It's the wonder-obituary thread that runs through FSG's ethos. It's a defunct model in the modern game, and they're still applying it, though, aren't they, Stephen? You know, we know this. We know this. As I said last week, says Charlie Woods, you make millions coming seconds in the Champions League. Yep. Yeah. Two players keep the fans quiet. Absolutely. You know, they're the two players that we've got. Absolutely, says Charlie.
He's definitely going to play Jones more, isn't he? He's definitely going to play him more. I think the last 10 games saved his bacon, really, didn't it? And
Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just got player of the match, didn't he?
Listen, we were years ago when he first came on the season. There's nothing better for a homegrown, like, young lad from Liverpool, you know, getting behind and whatever. I absolutely want, like, 200 billion% for that kid to make it and whatever. And, you know, I hope he proves me wrong. I really does, because it's about consistency. And if he can get that consistency, and if he can get that finishing product to his game, then we have got, we have got someone like
player, yeah.
Yeah, we have got someone.
Well, as I said,
my worry is the six, Frank. My worry is the way, like, you know, Fabinho just got left for dead. You know, he just got left for dead in so many games. The Brighton game, the Wolves game, you know, we got absolutely laddered.
Daz O'Connor, he's an expat and he lives in the States. And he said, "Hiya lads, can I come on next week and talk some sense?" Of course, the link will be sent out to you. I'd love you to come on next Thursday, because Liam's always on a Thursday. If you like, let me know, Daz. That'd be fantastic if you did. And Lee Brady. But the positive weather we have Henderson. On the positive weather we have Henderson and Thiago all not out of midfield, looking really good, with McAllister and Slobosky. Jones, Elliott, Fab, Betetic, etc. And maybe one more. I also think if Trent is in midfield, we will have Gomez to play right back. I think he plays better there than in centre-back position. Yeah, I do. So, maybe that's why Klopp wants a Milner to stay another year to help out and the right back. I
Conor Bradley as well, haven't you?
What?
You've got Conor Bradley as well.
Yeah. But that Milner, I seen him flying past him. He just couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up with them. And he used to just stack them down, didn't he?
Yeah.
He used to just stack them down.
I think Gomez, I think, you know, it's sad because, like, we had a rubbish season last year, and, you know, he got a lot of flack and whatever. But I think he is more defensive-wise as a right back. I think he's solid. I think he's a good defender. I think with a good pre-season, injury-free or whatever, I think, you know, and he's homegrown as well, isn't he? So I think it's just something to do with this homegrown, isn't it? You know, we've got to have that homegrown quota and that. So I think there's one homegrown quota left, and that's why they think they're going for Lavia from Southampton. I think they're going to come up with something random.
But as you said before, and as I've said, the lads have said as well, that, you know, he's 19 and it's another potential. It's another project. It might even work out. Might work out, this young Lavia. I've not got nothing against the lad. He cannot pass a ball, because I seen him pass it to Jota in the last game of the season, and Jota just slotted it away. But mind you, he's playing for Southampton. Cracking ball across the area. Yeah, Diogo, lads, have a go at that. Marcus Stoyle, of course, I congratulate Marcus Stoyle because he does a hell of a lot for mental health. Climbs mountains, jumps out of planes. Does everything. Do you know Mark, do you?
No.
Oh, you know the lads know. The likes of Gold, Steve Metcalf, they all know.
Oh, was this the guy who done the Hillsborough? The walk up
up Ben Nevis.
Yeah, I think I've got him on my Facebook, I think. And that, I love his quotes and some of the stuff that he's put up and that. And well done, Mark. Well done. Danny Taylor and all that went up there with him, didn't he? And Brian.
I always remember it was a hot day. And he puts up this photograph of him up some mountain somewhere. And it was perishing. I'm sitting there and going, and I'm saying to myself, I would like to be next to him, freezing. Should have seen it. But, as Mark says, great lads, great, does everything for their mental health. The lads, along with people as well. So congratulations to him for the last venture they did. And they raised a hell of a lot of money. They raised thousands, by the way.
I believe it was a fantastic day, wasn't it? When Golden and when they all went up Ben Nevis. Danny Taylor, Brian Nash.
Francine was there.
Yeah, was Francine goes well, did she?
Yeah. She jumped out of a plane as well, Francine.
Wow.
Jumped out of a plane. These are brave people. People. Anyway, Mark says, we need 5 new players, not 2 or 3, and another centre-back. I am the only one seeing this. Am I the only? No, you're not, Mark. You're not. This is what we've been saying right through the programme from the beginning, over an hour ago. This is what we've been saying. You're not the only one. And you're right. FSG says, Lee Brady, FSG are making out as if they are spending on the club with the stadium expansion, etc. That's all being paid from the revenue from having a worldwide fan base. But yet, it's okay for them to pay for a baseball player spending over $200 million. We know where their priorities lie, of course. And didn't they buy an ice hockey side and someone else? And they've gone into golf.
Penguins, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've gone into golf now. Last week, golf by signing up McIlroy and what's his name, Tiger Woods. So how much did they cost? Think about that. They're not going to sign a contract for buttons, are they? And Stephen Snape, I agree with Liam. I'd love to see Curtis really at the heights, but perhaps his development might be better served if we have more experienced midfielders around him, the likes of a 25 or 26-year-old. Yes, totally agree. And Jake Whittaker, and we need a right back, Frank, because Trent will play in midfield. Yeah. But it'd be that floating right back one.
I think it'd be a floating one.
To midfield.
I think but the only thing is that, the saying about Matip now, aren't they? They're going to give him a new contract. I'm all right with that. If he if we get if we sell Phillips and Williams gone on loan, hasn't he? Williams is gone.
Yeah, he's gone to Aberdeen. Yeah.
So we've got Van der Beek, haven't we? That's Sepp Van der Beek. I don't know where.
I think he's with Leipzig. Is it with Leipzig? Or he's with someone.
Has he gone now? Has he gone on loan? Has he again?
Yeah, he's been on loan a while now.
Yeah, but I didn't know if he was going to stay or whatever. But the only thing is Kanati is absolutely unbelievable player, but you can't rely on him for like a big string of games, a big run of games. So Matip is injury prone, and also you've got Kanate as well. So we do need, cover on each side of, centre-half.
No, you're right.
Van
But
Dijk
it's
is,
the left-sided centre-back. That's what we need. To cover for Van Dijk. But I like this Mickey van der Ven. I like him. But
he's just signed, hasn't he, for Spurs?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I liked him. I like him. And he's a big red. Charlie Woods bought the Penguins. They are having trouble getting the wrappers off.
Well, having the wrappers off.
Aberdeen, I think Van der Beek. Yeah. She's leaving.
Aberdeen.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is that, if he's going to keep Gomez, he's going to keep him as a backup right back, and I think he'll keep Conor Bradley as well there. But we need absolutely cover, like Inacio. You need the top centre half. That's what we need. I think I'm right. I agree with the lad before. So James Visitor, was it, when he says we need a centre half, or whoever it was. I think we do need a centre half first. I know, like, we need midfield and all that, but I think we've got to call it a good left centre half.
Well, that's what I've been saying for weeks. If we're left with in midfield, Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho, I'm being honest with Fabinho as well, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Then we have to rely on Curtis Jones and Batatic. Batatic is still trying to feel his way, don't forget.
Yeah.
And he got injured. He got a bad injury, which kept him out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I've got nothing against the lad. I think he's great. I think he's a great prospect. But when you see the likes of Harvey Elliott, what do you think of Harvey Elliott? Do you think he's going to hit the heights?
I hope so, because he loves the club. He's massive. He's a massive red, and you can see he absolutely loves the club and all that. I just don't know where he fits. Does he fit in a midfield three, or is the front three? It's like in the middle, isn't he? He's kind of. I think Klopp has got to have different formations this year. I think he's got to have a plan A, plan B, and a plan C. And I think with the likes of McAllister and that Soboslai, you can use them at like different positions and whatever and that. And I think Elliott kind of falls into that category, which is a little bit strange because of Carvalho. If he was going to change his formation, then there would have been an accommodation for Carvalho. But maybe just for a year, let him go out and get some, experience and get some playing time. Because he's a baller, isn't he? Fabio Carvalho, Someone told me
I think, I'm being honest here, when you mentioned Carvalho, I thought that there was a little bit of enticement. We lend you Carvalho. You
no
give
doubt,
Szoboszlai.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also as well is that he was getting knocked off. He was getting knocked off the ball too much, wasn't he? And that,
He was.
And I believe the assets now, I believe his programme, they're pumping them up, aren't they? They're building them up in the top end.
Well, Showboy Francis, the two who are linked with Lavia and Colwell are both 19, which is a worry. Are they for the future? Yeah, they are, but we won't get Colwell. That's way beyond budget, way beyond. And so is Lavia apparently. But I don't fancy Lavia. I'd rather have Valverde. I think he's a great. I want to do. Lee Brady says, "What do you think will be our front three?" Yeah, I was going to ask you this. I'm gonna right. So before you answer it, let me finish the thing. What do you think our front three? come first game of the season, Jota knows where the goal is. Gakpo is amazing and causes problems like Nunes. And I think Salah will defo start. Then Diaz and Dominic and then Trent. So who would you pick for your first?
I think Gakpo's earns his space. Definitely, he's earned his space. I think Nunes has got to prove himself. It all depends on pre-seasons, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You know, we've got to have pre-season. He's going to try out different formations or whatever. As I said to you, I think, you know, Nunes will either hit the ground running and he'll be a revelation, or he's just going to hit the bar again. And that, but for Chelsea, I can imagine Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah, and I think Szoboszlai would be under, like, just behind, with it holding two, maybe.
No, well, you can't go. You know, the front three. My front three would be obviously Mo on the right, Diaz on the left.
Yeah, that's it.
And Gakpo.
And Gakpo.
But when you look at the bench, and I'm talking about our forwards here, you've got the likes of Jota, who knows where the goal is.
And Nunes.
And he's a handful. No matter how you look at it, he is a handful to contend with. But it's the midfield area. The other night on the, I think we were talking about it, and one of the lads said, I don't think that McAllister or Szoboszlai will start the first game against Chelsea.
I think it's about pace as well, isn't it? But the thing is, and you know, I might get like kinds of tart through at me or whatever, but I think if Henderson is fit, I think he'll play Henderson against Chelsea, because it's tried and tested. You know, Henderson, you know, in that kind of way. I don't think he'll start a new front three in the middle.
No.
There's no way.
No.
And I think he'd play Henderson with McAllister and another. Now, and I don't think, it all depends about Fabinho. Now, there's been like kinds of rumblings that Fabinho might be on his way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might be going to Saudi or whatever.
Well, okay, Liam. No, let's put it this way. Suppose, would you be upset if you got up tomorrow morning and you read the news that Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago is gone?
I love Thiago. I love Thiago. I really do. I feel so kinds of. He is proper world class, Frank. I know people say he slows the game down and all that, but what he does, he's just a conductor. You know what I mean? And we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that in our midfield for time. And if he stays injury free, he'd be amazing. He would be amazing. Even in the last year of his contract. Henderson, you know, he's Marmite, isn't he? But I think he's been a fabulous servant. He's been an amazing captain on and off the pitch. I think I always remember that emotion from him in the Champions League with his dad and that, you know what I mean? And I brought me to tears. You know, he absolutely loves the club. I don't think he'll let Henderson go because of experience. He wouldn't have let Milner and Henderson go in the same kind of thing. And I think Klopp is a little bit sick that Milner's gone, to be honest with you, even for that experience.
But that's sentimentality in my eyes here, Liam. I'm not being funny. Go and get Kyle Walker from Man City, 200 million.
Yeah.
He sang about Sean Cox, didn't he? That.
Yeah.
He sang about Sean Cox. Salah, Gakpo, Nunes, first game, says Stephen
Yeah,
Smith.
good. Yeah.
Let's
It all
see.
depends on the pre-seasons, doesn't it? They see what we don't see in the, in the training sessions and whatever. But I do believe that there's going to be a lot more formations and, the low block. We were talking about it the other week, weren't we? Szoboszlai, McAllister, even Nunes, you can break the low block. I'm excited now that we're going to play the teams
There's
who
loads
come and put 10 men
excited,
behind the ball, that we can kind of unlock them.
Yeah. No, there's loads of excited about next season. But you've got to look at the bigger picture again.
Yeah.
I know, you might think I'm speaking negative. I'm not. I'm just trying to speak in a positive way, Liam. We still need.
I think we will. But I think there'll be a few outgoings as well. I think we might see Kelleher go, and Phillips, and maybe one of Thiago or Fabinho. I wouldn't be surprised if either Thiago or Fabinho went.
Well, out of the two, who was out of the two, wouldn't you be bothered to go?
If I could keep Thiago injury free, I'd sell Fabinho, and I'd bring in a top 6.
You'd have to, and we haven't got one. And that's
like
the problem.
Enemy or whoever, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, Showboy Francis, I'd be gutted if they went. You don't win nothing with kids. Good point.
That an ironic one, is it?
I think it is, actually.
Do you remember that Alan Hansen said that?
Yeah, I think it was like
The
tongue
Man
in
United
cheek
thing.
with him. Yeah, you don't win nothing with kids. I think we'll play 3-2-2-3 next season, says Jake Whittaker. 3-2-2-3.
Yeah.
3 at the back.
Yeah. I think it is 3 at the back. I think it is.
See, the likes of the 3-2-2, that's it, 3 at the back. This is why we need another centre-back. And I wouldn't trust Joe Gomez, but we need a left-sided centre-back. That's what I've been saying it for a couple of years, actually. Right, so the likes of the two, you'd have Trent on one and Robbo on the other, going up and down the wings. But I think, again, people will have a go at me here. I think Robertson, he's, he hasn't been playing too well. I don't care what anyone says. He hasn't been playing too well.
He might just need a break, though, Frank. He's played a lot of football.
Yeah.
Played the World Cup, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. No, you're right. Lee Brady says, Fab is just too slow for me, like a cart horse. We need pace in that position. Toral would be perfect. But unfortunately, as you know, it's gone flat. It's gone dead in the water. The Thuram thing. Fabinho has lost his pace. That's why he has so many yellow cards. That's it. Well, Milner was the same, though, wasn't he? Milner was the same.
The amount of stupid fouls we give away on the edge of the box is unbelievable.
Yeah. Just like Milner, who had no pace, just taking players out. And, they were in dangerous things. And Stephen Snape, Thiago's vision can turn again. Fabinho doesn't have that in his locker. Thiago injury-free could be awesome. Spoilers like Fabinho are slightly easier to play.
I agree.
But it doesn't look like, we're going to replace anybody, soon. But that's the thing that came out today, that we have to sell, or yesterday, that would not sell, but let someone go. If we're after a midfielder, from midfield to bring someone in.
That's what I'm like now, Frank. I'll have to bail out at 9:30, mate.
No, that's fine.
That's all right.
That's fine. I'll
be
wrap
up till
up.
6 and like.
Yeah, no,
I just flew in.
Well, I've been touring all day.
Have you?
Yeah, and yesterday as well. It's really taken us out of me.
Good.
Really, you know, I mean that. And the telly's been after me, Liam, you know, to appear for them at the end of the month.
Cool.
It's not bad. Me on the telly again. But anyway, I think that's a very good shout, that, actually, about Thiago. Probably ends up playing Jay Spearing against Chelsea.
Yeah. I think the thing is that, like, you know, there is going to be, like, now there's going to be a lot more people going on about Jones, aren't they? He's gonna be looking at it like as a credible midfielder now, and I think, you know, it took a long time, but hopefully this could be his time.
But he's 23 now, and it's sure. Yeah. So don't forget, he's playing. He's just been voted man of the match for the 21. And they showed the highlights of just him being man of the match, and he was really good. You know, like a proper midfielder, if you know what I mean. You know, robbing the ball and passing it forward, constantly passing it forward rather than sideways. Because remember, Henderson was like that, and he called him the spider, because sideways and backwards.
Well, the thing was is that he was sideways, Bob, wasn't he? You know, like over the last few years. But he seems to have, like, he's starting to get a little bit more, like, kinds of tricks in his armour now. You know what I mean? He's starting to, like, kind of come out, because he's playing more forward as well as a forward midfielder. He's bringing the pace in the midfield where it's been pedestrian. Do you know what I mean? So him, McAllister, Szoboszlai, you know, another, as I said, you know, we can get someone to, like, a top draw midfielder, a Thuram, a Kone, someone like that. I think that could be good. And then a boss centre half.
What do you think of Kone, yourself personally? What do you think? I think he's brilliant. Kone.
I think Kone. Do you know what? Out of everyone, I think he could be the dark horse.
Yeah.
I think he could be the dark horse. If you look at Thuram, you can look at Szoboszlai and go, well, you know, maybe it was one or the other with them. We were going for, like, by all accounts, we were going for Mason Mount and that, and, you know, he jibbed us for the money, or United, or whatever he went for, and I'm not judging him. But what I'm saying is, we got Szoboszlai, and, you know, that's sound and whatever. I think Kone would be brilliant in our midfield.
He's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, he's only young, he's brilliant,
just box to box, like, and smashes a tackle. You know what I mean? Smashes a tackle.
I'm wondering yourself, I'm wondering, like yourself, whether, you know, everything's gone quiet on everybody. Now, don't forget that he got injured, didn't he, Kone? And everything's skewed. But then again, we could just go, we've got him, if you know what I mean. We've got him. Yeah. And as Charlie Wood says, we've been doing the same thing for years, selling 6 to bring in 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Jeff Ellison, I have Liverpool spent wisely over the past 2 seasons. Diaz, Nunes, Gakpo, and now the 2 midfielders. Surely the management would have the foresight to see which areas of the team would need replacements. That's a good point. And
I think the thing is that about they had to pay it up front with Szoboszlai, didn't he? They had to pay it all up front. The release clause was 60 odd million, was it? 65 million.
Yeah.
So they had to pay that up front. You know, Leipzig weren't playing ball in any way, shape or form. and they reckon it would have gone up to 80 million or something like that. So they took the loan out or whatever. So that's not out of our budget. That's not out of the budget that we're supposed to have, right? How I look at like kind of what they say is that you're supposed to kind of put a certain amount up, aren't you? And then you pay the rest over the contracts. That's how it works, isn't it? With transfers and that, like, you know, you pay a certain amount up front and then you pay amortization or something it's called, isn't it? And then, so I think for me is that like, I think in regards of our budget, because we've lost Milner, Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain, Carvalho's gone as well. There is like this like kind of, you know, not net spends, whatever you want to call it or whatever, but then wages there have been saved. So I think there will be, I do think there'll be another two players definitely coming in. Definitely.
I hope so, Lee. I hope so. And one of them has to be, honestly, one of them has to be a midfielder. And the other one,
absolutely, I agree.
Centre back. So let's just go on before you go, Lee. Now, there's a good one. Jake Whittaker says this front three: Diaz, Nunes, Salah. That's
absolutely.
Choice. That's a choice there.
But I think Gakpo, I think that Gakpo is going to be unbelievable.
Yes. And I think Nunes has to prove himself as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's his last season. It's not a...
And Charlie Wood says, sorry about you've been saying, really, I like Jones, but he seems to have a problem with confidence around the goal. Frightening, electrifying pace up front, that. My question when strange, when ciphering. I hope Liam's right regarding the financial structuring of a player acquisitions, says Stephen Snape. And that's it, isn't it? Listen, people out there, you know, I know that you're all subscribers, but when you come on, just press the likes. I keep forgetting, you know. Just press the likes to get the algorithm out there. And, you know, for the show, guys, it'll be great if you do that just for us all. Just for us all. And what we'll do there, are you going, Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
All right. Well, listen, will you next Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday sounds, yeah.
With Darren O'Connor from the States.
Yeah, sounds.
Excellent.
And then hopefully, you know, we might have some news, mightn't we?
Well, yeah, this is the point. And we'll also have James from Singapore on.
Oh,
he's
great.
Brilliant, you know, he's really good. It'd be great, the three of you.
Well, are Liverpool going to Singapore? Are they going this pre-season?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
See, the other thing is what you need to talk about is investments. You know, where's the investment? Do we reckon that the
investment? Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it's gone, Liam. I really don't. Jeff Ellison, predictive text is great. People are worried about it. Yes, they are actually. We press each other's buttons, so we'll always press the like buttons, Frank. Thank you, says Steve. It's not liking me. It's liking everything about it. But you just get the algorithm out there. Yeah. And, you know, so I'm having it on now. I only went to one day a week, but with the likes of you, Liam, and the likes of the other lads who couldn't even make a Thursday, a Tuesday, the likes of that Darren O'Connor over there.
It'd be great to get like people from all over the globe.
Yeah. So they're on, and the lad from Singapore, will be
He
on.
could drive. Darren O'Connor can probably be our spy and kind of see what's going on with Red Sox.
Most probably. Well, I think we've got great spies on here now. They don't need. They're coming out and saying that, they're buying a player for 200 million. I remember them 3 or 4 years ago. They spent 240 million on a baseball player for Red Sox.
Was that Ribeiro, was it? Was it Ribeiro, was it?
I don't know. I haven't a clue. But, that's it, isn't it? It's the way it is. And so they pick up on everything. They pick up on everything, Liam. So, all right, mate, I'll let you go.
All right. Frank, I'll give you a check. I'll call you as well, knock them down, and we'll have a good tea in there.
Oh, no, that'll be fantastic. It really will, because I'm only here. You know where I live. Just give me a call, okay?
All right, mate.
When you're coming down.
Thanks for that, Frank.
So much. No, thank you.
All right. God bless, lads, and everyone who's watching. See you later.
That's great. Thank you, Liam. See you later. Ciao. Well, that's Liam. He's a cracking fella, He's one of the best. He's a good friend. It's Liam. And he's just got back from Malta. He just come in. So he's knackered. He's been up since 6 o'clock and all that flight and everything else all the way from there. But that's the way it is, lads. It's the way it is. I'm knackered myself, to be honest. Stephen says it's 4 hours a week. That's all consuming. Nothing better than talking things red. The vibrancy of the fan base shines through. It doesn't have to go over the top. But what you've got to understand as well, boys, is this. We're all Reds. We're all Reds, as you know. And being a Red is a great thing. It really is. It's a great thing being a Liverpool fan. And we were all so deflated at the end of last season, so deflated. And we were so deflated again the season before when we missed out on the quadruple. And when you think like there was 20 minutes to go and we were about to win the league with Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa playing City. And then we missed out by the own goal in the Champions League final. Just think about that. And the sad thing is, in the summer, I said this on many of occasions, we should have gone out, the likes of Salah, the likes of everybody else, and said, we're going to win this. We're going to go all out and win, go for the quadruple again. But there wasn't any summer transfers. There wasn't. I don't care what anyone says. The summer transfer window was absolutely ridiculous. It was awful. With the likes of Carvalho, the likes of Ramsey, and even Nunes, unfortunately. And that was our summer window. And Artemelo. And that's just after, missing out on the quadruple. Just think about that for a moment. Just think. And it was shocking. It really was. Let us know when you're doing more tours, Frank. Yeah, because I'm not being funny, but people loved it, today. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. And yesterday as well. Did one yesterday. And we have a laugh as well. But I show things that people miss out. Because with these people, I was saying, look at that there, see that. And they were going, I've never even seen that. And yet it's there in front of them. So show things and give them a little bit of history behind it as well. For example, Charlie, I went to a building today. You can't get into buildings anymore. And anyway, I was looking, they were all looking, and I sing about Queen Victoria. and they were made up. They were made up. But Queen Victoria, nothing big like, but what was there about Queen Victoria? They went, wow, didn't know that. I said, well, now you know. And other things, certain things, and the people just loved it. And yesterday, the people that loved it today they loved it that much that they want another tour. So I'll let you know, Charlie. And but it's got to be done sooner rather than later because I'm going to be busy with the telly. Funny enough, with the telly. I don't mean the telly in my living room here. I mean the telly, proper telly, filming and things like that. So it's things that it's got to be done sooner rather than later. And I'm going to get away. I'm getting away as well for a couple of weeks, not, when it comes about. So it's got to be done within the next, where are we? In the next 6 weeks. So I'll let you know. And also, I'm going to give a couple of lectures as well. Things. One is the gunpowder plot. So I'll be giving a lecture about that. So I'm pleased with that. And the other one is actually about the gunpowder plot. And the other one is the connection between the gunpowder plot and the English Civil War. And there was a massive connection. And people don't realise that. So that's coming up at the end of this month. But the tickets have gone, they're all sold out. It's full up. And but the gunpowder plot alone is I'll let you know if you fancy going along to watch it. I'll let you know. It's just about the gunpowder plot. But that's what they want anyway. How many fans have roller coaster rides like us? Being a Liverpoolian is one of life's constant privileges. We truly never walk alone. That's a cracker, that. Thank you, Stephen. We don't. And all the lads will be pleased with that one. That's lovely. That's a cracker, that is a cracker. Did you manage to go to any games last season, Frank? Be great to get to go a game with you sometime. Yeah, Lee, just anytime. Anytime, Lee. Do you know what I want you to do, Lee, as well? I want you to come on the show when I have John McCardle on. Would you like that? Let me know now, though. Let me know now. Let me know now. Let me know. And it's good because I've got, I was talking about an artist, Anthony Brown, today, and it was very coincidental. Very coincidental. And someone said to me, did he do a painting of you? Have I seen you in an exhibition? And this is one of the ladies today. And that was the 100 Liverpool heads taken as well. And he said, that was it. And she was made up with that. And another one said, has anybody ever done a caricature of you? And I said, yeah, they have. I was 10. And he said, can I show you it? Just a minute. Honestly, it won't be a minute with this. This is mad. Absolutely mad. And we get my hair cut as well at the weekends, which is a good thing. I hope it comes up. Now, whatever did it? God, I want that. I didn't know I had that. Just bear with me on this. Please bear with. Oh yeah, there it is. I hope you can see that. Hang on, where am I? I don't know where. Oh yeah. See, I'm there. Look. See? Frank on the wireless. Caricature of me, that. I don't know if you can see it, any. And there was a lad by the name of Serrano Dan, and that's what he did. And it's a big caricature. I've got it hanging on the wall, which is really nice, you know. Really. So it's, but anyway, if anyone let me know, you know, if anyone wants to go along. Yes, Lee, you know, did you manage to go to any games? I couldn't go because I was recovering from bloody that aneurysm I had, a triple repair aneurysm. But yeah, no problem. And Soulboy France says, I would have understood last summer's window if we had done failing should have been the green light. Brilliant. Brilliant, that. Great, that, Soulboy. I'd love to, but I've always got kids all the time, Frank says Lee Braid. It would be amazing going on the background in the background. But thanks for the offer though, Frank. Maybe in the future sometime. It would be nice. But 28-year-old, but 8-year-old girls is hard work. Tell me about her. Done it all myself. Tell me about her. Leave it easy. But defo get to go to the game. Me and my dad are season ticket holders and he doesn't go all the games. Okay, that's no problem. Thank you, Lee. Mamma mia, thank you. But anyway, I tell you what, if anyone's got anything else just to say, you know, then we can just bail out. What do you think? Have you got any more? Any comments? Not questions to me. I'll just read the comments out and agree. I tell you what. If like as I said before, you know what some people are saying, if we have to get rid of another midfielder to bring in another one, who would you like to see go to bring in another midfielder? And who would you like to see as a midfielder coming in? And that's the final thing. Just answer that. Oh, that's great. I keep telling you, someone keeps falling down there. Someone keeps falling. So let me know. I'll have to pick this up. Jeez, it's a bloody wire. And this thing's in the way. You can't see all this. It's mad. Oh, yeah. Right. Let's see. Lee Brady. Fabinho, because we will bring in possibly Thuram and have Betetic to cover that position. See, I think the Thuram deal is dead in the water, and as Liam said before, he said that Kone. Now, there could be something with Kone, albeit that, you know, the thing seems to have gone cold, the interest, that is, in Kone, because he got injured, but it might be a ploy, I don't know. He thought that we get that Szoboszlai in. He thought that. I didn't. Even McAllister, I didn't. But we do need players of their calibre. Stephen Snape, like every season, I'm chomping at the bit to get started against Chelsea. Maybe the Thuram deal going quiet is a prerequisite. Thanks, Steve. Prerequisite to another surprise for us. It's happened before for me, Fabinho. Okay. Okay, that's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. It's just one of those things. It's hard, isn't it? Soulboy Fran, I think it would have to be Thiago because of the number of games he misses. But I love what everybody does. Soulboy, everybody does. He's a great player. But the games, how many games do we get out of him? 20, 22 a season. We need him more than that. And he's 32 now. And he is a visionary. He is a visionary. And that's the thing. That's the thing. So Fabinho, and you're saying Thiago, Stephen Snape says Fabinho, Soulboy saying Thiago, which is good. And I would sooner have Casizo playing for us than against us. I'd love him. Charlie would. I'd love him. I really would. Charlie would. I really would. But anyway, lads, it's been a great pleasure. It really has. And its toll is taken out on me. It really has. I'm absolutely knackered. I was up to as early this morning and I had to go and do this thing for this certain lady and, a group of people. I took it. And the coach driver was a cracking fella. Really nice fella. He just brought us where I needed him to go so I could show the people. Very unusual tour. And he just went, wow, Wow. Loved it. I'd love to take you all, it'd be great, honestly. Be funny as well. After your long day, cheers, Frank, and everyone watching again, say Stephen Smith. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much. They got another message. And it's from, I think, King Charles. King Charles. Yeah, definitely from King Charles. It's John Henry. We are buying Mbappe for 200 million to keep the fans happy. That's the message. It's the message. From John Henry, none other than John Henry himself. That's a cracker. Brilliant. Well, lads, there's no girls on tonight, unfortunately. No girls. And we're all on our lonesome. But it's just for me to say thank you for joining us, And next Tuesday, it's the same. It's the same. We'll have another podcast. And as Liam said, when I said I'll see you next Thursday, Liam, we wonder what's gone on within a week at Liverpool. But think about this: if we sign nobody, but in that week, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's see. What are we going to do? Nice, y'all. Say Stephen Snake. Thank you so much, Stephen. And it's night for me. Good night. The Italians say, don't they, ciao, ci vediamo, which is a great thing to say. And that means I'll see you all soon. I'll see you all. And thanks, Frank, again. And yeah, we will sort a game out this coming season sometime and a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Lee Brady. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I love you all. And I'll see you all next. Charlie Woods, good night, all. The boys. We're the boys. They're the Scousers. They're the Scousers. Absolutely love you, boys. So anyway, see you all Tuesday. And I know that lads look in on the Ordinary Show because I've got Anthony Brown coming in. And we've been talking a lot of history, by the way, if you fancy listening to some history as well. Some history. Okay, so hopefully see you next week. Thank you, boys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Either Monday or Tuesday or Thursday. Thank you. Ciao. Ciao for now. Ci vediamo. Buonanotte.